Welcome to SNN.
Today is
Friday, January 27th, 2012.
It is a sky day, which means star periods 1, 3, and 5.
Don't touch that TV. That's not a technical problem, but rather a reminder about cell phones.
We're starting our broadcast today with Mr. Smith.
Listen up.
Good morning, everyone. So I just wanted to briefly talk about cell phones and electronic devices in terms of our expectations for common areas. For the most part, you've been doing an outstanding job. We've made some changes about lunch and so forth to give you some more opportunities. But just a reminder in terms of before and after school. Before and after school, there are a couple places you can use your cell phones. That's in the cafeteria or outside. You may not use cell phones to text, make phone calls, etc. in the hallways at any time. Now, the reason we ask you to do that is because typically what happens is you're looking at your phone, you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and we have 812 students at Skyridge this year, and so it's really not safe. I see people walking down the stairs looking at their phones, etc. So we don't mind if you use them to get a hold of your parents or whatnot. That's perfectly fine. But again, the two places you can do that are in the cafeteria and outside. No cell phones for any reason in the halls before or after school. So thank you for your help with that, and have a great day.
Thanks, Mr. Smith.
Today we have Master Storyteller Will Horniak visiting our school.
He's going to get quite a workout telling stories all around our school today.
Here he is now.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Horniak, or Will, or what should we call you?
Will is fine.
How long have you been coming to Skyridge?
I think for about 5 years now. Is that right? Something like that.
What stories do you have for us today?
I'm going to do some myths because I'm working with some of the students today on mythology. So, because of Miss Pappas, and she's Greek, we're going to do a Greek myth, among others. She's a walking myth.
Can you tell us the quick story?
Sure. This is an old Jewish folktale. So there was once a rabbi, and he always had the right story for every occasion. And one day somebody said, "How do you always find the right story for every occasion?" And he said, "Well, that reminds me of a story." He said there was a king who wanted to be an archer, a great bowman, and so he studied with all the masters. But one day he was riding through the countryside, and he saw a barn, and he saw arrows shot in the side of the barn, and every arrow penetrated the exact center of a bullseye. And he was amazed. He'd never seen this kind of shooting. So he went to a nearby farmhouse, and he knocked on the door, and a woman answered it, and he said, "Who shot these arrows into the side of the barn?" And she said, "Oh, that must be my son. I'll bring him to you." And she brought a 14-year-old boy before the king. And the king said, "How do you do this? What's your secret?" And he said, "Well, every day I go to the barn, and I shoot some arrows into the side of it. And then sometimes I go back with a can of paint, and I paint little bullseyes around the arrows. And in this way do I appear as a great marksman before you." And the rabbi said, "That's pretty much the way it is with me. I take stories into my heart, and once in a while life comes along and paints a little bullseye around one, and in this way do I appear as a great storyteller before you." Yay! That's called the right story.
How do you decide which stories to tell?
It depends on the occasion. So today we're studying myths, so I'll do a lot of myths. I'm doing a St. Patrick's performance coming up in a couple months, so I have a lot of Irish stories for that. So depends on the moment.
We want to welcome you to our school. We hope you have a great day.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I love coming back to Skyridge.
Yay!
Today is the birthday of another master storyteller.
He wrote an amazing story about a girl named Alice who falls down a hole.
Guessed it yet?
Lewis Carroll, and he wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
If you're a fan of classical music, it's also Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's birthday. He composed Eine kleine Nachtmusik,
The Marriage of Figaro,
The Magic Flute,
to name a few.
Hum a few bars and think of your Valentine.
Make their February 14th really special.
For a mere $2 a carnation.
ASB is holding a flower sale of red and white carnations during all the lunches.
Starting on the 31st of this month, which is next Tuesday.
It goes until the February 2nd.
Students can order flowers for other students, such as best friends, or maybe just someone who is nice to you.
Order them for anyone, just to say, "You are in my thoughts."
Flowers will be delivered to classrooms during Flex on Valentine's Day, which is Tuesday, February 14th.
3 flowers per person.
Again, the cost is only $2 for each flower.
You will need to provide the person's first and last name.
And their grade level.
We are off on Monday the 30th, and the sale starts on Tuesday the 31st at all lunches.
Something else on Monday, which is a non-school day.
It can make you a better babysitter.
Attend the Be a Better Babysitter with Safe Sitters training class.
From 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., bring a sack lunch to class.
It's at the Zellerbach Administrator Center.
The fee is $60. Call it an investment in your future.
You'll learn how to handle those little kids with more skill.
Contact Camas Community Education for registration information at 833-5544.
Check the main office for a flyer.
By the way, that's also a day off.
You've said that.
Eggs and peanut butter. All week we've been asking for clean, unused styrofoam egg cartons.
And labels from your peanut butter or almond butter jars.
Miss Hoffman, our technology teacher, needs them for a little something.
This is a great way to recycle those dreadful styrofoam things.
It does not matter one bit if there are a dozen eggs or 18.
She's in room 201, so you can drop them off.
We will let you know when she has everything she needs, but in the meantime, bring in those peanut butter labels.
And of course, the styrofoam egg cartons.
Get this on your calendar. February 21st. It is the first informational meeting about the trip to Poland.
The meeting will be held in the Liberty Middle School in the library at 7 p.m.
Interested students and families are encouraged to attend to hear more about this opportunity.
30 years is a long time for a program like this. The Sister City Exchange Program has been active in Camas for over 30 years.
This year, 10 to 12 students, along with district and parent chaperones,
will travel to the southern part of Poland near Krakow.
The dates for this year's exchange are June 21st through July 1st.
Information about how much and other travel details will be discussed at the February 21st meeting.
There are flyers in the halls and in the main office.
Today's thought comes from the conversation between Alice and the Queen.
From Chapter 5 of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland,
Alice says, "There is no use trying. One can't believe such impossible things."
I dare say you haven't had much practice, said the Queen. When I was your age, I always did it for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast.
Have a magical day and enjoy your very own master storyteller.
Remember the Sky Code and be safe.
Be respectful and be responsible. This has been Jessica
And Nicole.
At this time, please stand for the pledge.